Hello again from my front porch, or as it now will become for the month of December, the North Pole mailroom. This is the corridor through which Santa will come. Yes, I don't know. But hey, speaking of which, I had someone tell me, it was a comment to me here this afternoon that was intended to be a compliment, but I thought, well, that's interesting. I've not actually heard that before. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I mean, there's certainly worse things that you can be called. But, I feel like any opportunity there is to reinforce to people the concept of, doing right by others and being considerate of others and being respectful and those kind. Any opportunity there is to really reinforce that, let's take advantage of it. Let's do that. And so here's the context. I had accumulated quite a collection of cans and bottles, plastic bottles, the screw top soda ones, but a little over $12 worth actually. So I guess I collected a few, but I took them in, and if you've ever taken cans or bottles into a grocery store thing where they got the little self-service machines, you put the bottles in, the cans in, and whatever. There are other folks that are there doing that kind of thing too, and people come and go, and some people are nice, some people are not nice. They're just kind of gruff. In fact, there was a duo there. I was going to say a couple because there's a man and a lady, but there's no reason to believe they're a couple. They could just be partners, friends. I'm going to guess, not just from their look and appearance, but from the type of things that they were putting in, that they probably are some of those people who go out and pick them up on the side of the road or collect them, from laying around wherever they can to take them in. And I've actually heard people that will sort of put those individuals down. Oh, it must be awful living so dirty like that. Personally, I don't have a problem with it because, if it's helping them, cool, great, they get the money. But more importantly, they're helping keep places clean because some other slob just threw their cans or bottles out of their car or out on the ground, and along come these people and they're cleaning, they're picking it up. Yes, they may profit from that, but so what? They're doing the work of keeping wherever it is they're picking these up, keeping some of that trash out of there. So hey, good for them. But anyway, these people there, and they had a lot of stuff. That's the reason I'm mentioning them. I mean, they had like 2 shopping carts full, overflowing with bags of things, and they were just monopolizing. And that's a negative word. I don't mean to imply it. I mean, everybody going there is taking cans and bottles back. It's not like anybody is in the wrong because they're taking stuff. I took back $12 worth, so But the point is, between the two of them, they had 2, maybe even 3 of the units that were just blocked, were occupied because of what they were doing, and they were not going to be going anywhere anytime soon, which pretty much left 2-3 units for all the rest of us to use. And again, I'm not saying they were in the wrong. I don't believe that. Well, they should have stopped and let other people. No, they were there. They had every right to be there like anybody else. So that's not the point here. Point is, for all the rest of us going in, we all had to figure out how do we jockey around with these other units that are left remaining. And so again, I was there with $12. Now I try to be a little smart before I go in. To do this, I try to pre-sort. In fact, when I have separate bags, separate boxes, where I try to put cans here and the plastic bottles here. And I do that because I know when I get there, it's a whole lot easier to be able to just stand in front of one machine, the can machine or the plastic machine, and be able to only have a load of can or plastic. It's just makes more sense to me that way. It's quicker, more efficient. At least in my mind it is, because when I've tried to have stuff that's mixed up, then you got to kind of stand there between 2, and if you're lucky, you can be doing 2 machines at once, putting stuff in. But more often than not, you're just sorting through it right there and scrambling. Okay, well, here's a can. Oh, a whole lot. Dig through bottles, get more. I think it's annoying. So to speed up my own progress and then free things up for others around, I pre-sort. So I begin with my plastic load, put that stuff in the bags, the box in the shopping cart, and I took the plastic in first, and then when I was done with them, I went back to my car, loaded up with the stuff that has the cans in it, and take the cans in and do that. So that was my approach. Anyway, both times when I was there, now again, I pre-sort at home. This is not always, perfection, and today was not. When I took the plastic load in, as I was digging through, I have a box and a couple, two brown grocery bags with plastic and stuff. But as I, excuse me, as I was digging through, I discovered that there were 1 or 2 stray cans. Now, I knew I was going to be coming back to do cans, but I'm not doing cans at that point in time. I'm at the plastic machine. I'm putting the plastic things into the machine. But there was another lady next to me who was doing cans. And so I said to the lady doing the cans, as I'm taking bottles, putting them in, and I take the can, I said, oh, here's a can. I said, could you use an extra can over there? And she goes, you're not gonna. I said, I'm no reason to stand at that machine just for 1 can. Just go ahead. You can. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. And she puts it in. That's only 5 cents that I've just given the lady, but give her the can. And so we're doing our stuff. We're doing our thing. And then I got done with the plastic, and I didn't get done with the plastic. The machine said it was full, and so I backed my cart up from the machine, backed it out of because it's a little tight little space. I backed outside the door, and I stepped out and I called. I got my phone and I called the service desk at the grocery store and asked if they could have somebody come out and take care of the unit. And I had the door open. Everybody that was in there heard me that I was doing this. And so they said, okay. And so I figure I'll just wait here, And so then the guy comes out and he takes care of it. He fiddles around with it and gets it going. Now, in the meantime, while this is going on, another fellow showed up with a smaller cart and he did not pre-sort at home. His little mixed bag, cans and bottles and his stuff there. And I'm standing there with the door open with this cart there with plastic bottles in it. And the attendant comes out and fixes it so that now we can use it. And then this other guy, as soon as the attendant is done and steps out, this other guy just swoops in, takes his cart in, cuts right in front of me. It's like now some would hear that and go, "What? No, I will not. No, we got it." And I'm like, I'm looking at the stuff he's got. He's got, 30 items total, maybe, between cans and bottles. And so I know he's not going to be there very long no matter what. So I was like, and the lady, she's a little more of an elderly lady, not like old, but older than me. and she kind of glanced back at me like, oh, this is supposed to be your spot. And I was like, I just motioned, it's okay. She's like, all right. So she goes back doing what she's doing at the machine she's at. And as expected, this guy does his thing at the plastic thing, and then all he's got left is cans. And so he kind of pushes his way in alongside those other people who are there monopolizing the other, and sort of starts slipping some cans into one of the machines there, which then frees up the plastic machine, and I just scoot up and I go back at it. And I finish up my plastic stuff, and I get my little slips of paper that say, here's take it in, get your money. And so then I take my cart and my box and my bags, and I go back out to my car where I do a swap. I put the empty container things in my trunk, and now I load up the cart with the cans, and I go back to do the cans. Well, the one duo are still there. They're going to be there a while. The older lady is still there too. But the other guy who had come in, he's gone. In the time that it took me to get to my car, load stuff, he's already, like I said, I knew it wouldn't be long. He wouldn't be there. And so I'm able to just slip right back in and start doing cans again. And while I'm doing cans, another guy comes in, And he says, "Oh, can I get in there?" Oh, sure. I move some stuff around. I shift over and he can squeeze in there too. He starts going at it, and then his machine, he doesn't get very far. His machine stops and says, "Whoop whoop whoop whoop, full." And he's like, "Oh, this happens every time." I said, "No, don't worry." And I grab my phone and I again call the service desk and talk to the same person, ask if they can come out, and they sent the same guy, sent him right out and took care of it. And this guy's like, "Oh, thanks. I didn't know you. I thought you had to walk in there." And it's like, "Well, I used to think that too, but it's like they have a phone. We can just call them, tell them that we need to do that." So okay, he said, "Well, thank you. I appreciate that." No problem. And so he's doing his, I'm doing mine, and he gets done. He doesn't have as much either. He gets done before I'm done with the cans. But as I'm going through my cans now, I again discover that there are a couple of stragglers of plastic bottles that had not gotten sorted correctly at home. Almost pure sorted loads, but a little overlapping. And so I get all the cans in, and I've just got these 2 plastic bottles, and the older lady, she had stepped over and did some glass bottles, and now she apparently had discovered that because she had not pre-sorted either, she now discovered she had some plastics left. So she is now back at the plastic machine putting a few things in, and I grabbed my 2 plastic bottles and I said, "Here you go. Here, you want to put those?" And she goes, "You don't want those?" And I said, "No." She goes, because remember, this is the lady I gave the 2 cans to before. I said, I no reason to go stand in line. I used the same line. No reason to go stand in line for these 2 plastic bottles. She's like, okay. And she takes them from me and she puts them in there and boop, she's done. We get done about the same time, hitting the little green buttons, get our receipts and stuff. And now I got to go take my empty box and the bags from the cans back out to my car too. But before I could do that, as I'm starting to get shifted around to get out of there, this nice, kindly, I'll say little old lady. I mean, I don't. It's not the image that I would necessarily cling to, but again, she was older than me, and she seemed very nice. She seemed like a sweet little lady. But she turns to me, and she goes, "You really have the Santa spirit." And I thought, the what? And before, she must have saw the look on my face, like, because I've never heard this before. And she goes, you didn't mind at all, handing the bottles, letting the other guy go in front of you and all that. That's really great to see this time of year. It's nice that the Christmas spirit, the Christmas season brings out that Santa spirit and everyone. That's the thing. What would Santa do? That's really, and that she just kept saying this kind of stuff. And I was, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I understood she was trying to compliment me. She's trying to be nice. And I appreciate, again, there's a lot worse things that people could take note of you on. But I made my way out and I took my stuff back to my car and then I went in to cash in my receipt things and get my $12.15. Thank you very much. Get that back in cash. But the whole time I kept thinking about that phrase that she said, "You've really got the Santa spirit, don't you?" And I thought, the more I thought about that, the more I thought, that's actually kind of nice. That's kind of cool. And again, like I said, there's a lot worse things to be known for. But, around this time of year, around the holiday season, people do tend to be a little more aware of things like that. Thanksgiving, Christmas, being thankful. Unfortunately, people tend to be a little bit more aware of commercialism kind of things, and trying to buy affection through gifts and stuff. But regardless, excuse me, there is that sense of peace and goodwill towards men, peace on earth, if we can take advantage of that, if we can call it the Santa spirit, and we all can embrace that. Even regardless how you feel about Santa, we'll just say that because I don't want to ruin anything for anybody watching. The point being, when we think of Santa, we think of a very happy, jolly fellow. We think about somebody who is very generous. He has the naughty and nice list, but even those on the naughty list always still seem to get stuff. It's like, this whole idea that, well, no, you're just going to get coal. That's not, no, that's not the way it works out always either. Now, my favorite incarnation of Santa these days is still a little bit of a tie between the Tim Allen version and the Kurt Russell version. But the Kurt Russell version does tend to win out. I mean, he's really cool. But one of the things that I really like about the Kurt Russell Santa that we see on the Disney movie stuff, his is on Netflix. Tim Allen is over on Disney Plus. But the Kurt Russell Santa, he sort of undermines some of the myth. Like people say, oh, say ho ho ho, and he goes, I have never said ho ho ho. and then when they're talking about how on the billboard, no, that's Santa. Look how big and fat he is. You're not big and fat like that. And he goes, oh, I wish they'd stop drawing me like that. It's like, yeah, see, I like that. I like the fact that he just like, no, there's all these myths about Santa that, these stories, these legends, that they're not true. But some of it is. Some of the stories were true. That he still delivers the gifts. He's got the elves that are creating something. So what I'm saying is, what if we think about some of those things that we assign to Santa Claus, the mentalities, the spirit of those things, and we try to just do those ourselves. The things that we look to Santa for, the things that we respect him for, are not necessarily big, flashy things. And now, of course, flying around with the reindeer all in one night, delivering gifts to everybody, that's a big, flashy thing. But the just being kind, the just being nice, that's not big, flashy things. That's doable. That's easy for any of us. And so, let's try it. Let's try it. I am embracing this new phrase I learned today from this nice little old lady that I was demonstrating the Santa spirit. And so now I'm going to try to consciously every day, at least through December, hopefully beyond that, but I'm going to try to every day find ways to demonstrate the Santa spirit to others around me. And I challenge you to do the same. Just imagine if we all sought to embody and display the Santa spirit for even just the month of December. Imagine how awesome and amazing our lives and the lives of the people we touch would be. What do you say? Let's give it a test. It's a good experiment. Let's see if it works. You with me? Yes! Ho, ho, ho! All right. Well, with that, I will see you all next time from the North Pole mailroom and from my front porch.